My name is Allie and welcome to my channel, and I am going to talk about my entire experience at Yallwest. So this was my first year at Yallwest and I was super nervous to even go. So in order to get myself ready to go the night beforehand, I watched a bunch of vlogs from last year, and I have to admit that it didn't really help in the long run, but it did make me feel a lot better about going. It got me there, so I think that that was like the most important part. Also, my mom did take a few videos while we were there. It was just me and my mom for this trip. So I will try to add those videos in this one at some point, but let's get into what happened the entire day Saturday. And when we got there, we had to park in the parking lot for a hotel, and that was a little tricky at first because we definitely could not figure out where we were supposed to park, but then we saw that and it was easy after we got parked and it was fine. And then it was a really short walk to the high school, which was nice. And we got there at around 11, so most of the people had already been inside for a while. There wasn't any line to get in. It was super simple. And when you first walk in, there's like food trucks to the left, and then there's a bunch of booths to the right, and I think one of the first booths there is Owl Crate, and that line was so long. We kind of just bypassed a lot of those things. So after all of that, like, we have to walk up a hill, and then we ended up going to the right and like walking past a bunch of other booths, and we were going to go into one of the like venues for the panels, but we ended up not doing that because while we were in line for a panel, I saw Tejada Mafia walking by, and I'm like, okay, I guess we have to leave now because she's probably gonna go do her signing. And going over to the signing area, which was kind of difficult to find, it's like in the very back, and we walked all the way over there and we were able to get a wristband to meet Tejada Mafia, and I was so grateful for that because we had already missed the Kirsten White signing, and that was one I was super excited about. I was like, at least I'm gonna get to meet Tejada Mafia. I love her. I'll insert some of the pictures here. They're just so cute, and she was so sweet and so kind. We were able to kind of get into kind of like, not the front of the line, but pretty close to the front. And that's also when I got to say hi to Rocky because she was coming and getting into the line as well. And we got to say hi, and it was so nice, and I'm so glad I got to meet her. Meeting Tejada Mafia was just amazing. She was so kind, so sweet, and I was able to tell her like basically everything I wanted to tell her. I was so worried that I wasn't gonna get any of the words out when I met her, but it just ended up being like really perfect. It just totally worked. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to actually like meet her and not cry, but I didn't cry. I was totally fine, and it was just so much fun. So I'll show you the book that she signed for me. So because I didn't really want to carry around a bunch of books all day, and I didn't really want to have to go back and forth between the car and Yallwest, I decided to just bring one book from each author I wanted to get signed, and I decided to bring Ignite Me. And so she did sign it for me, and it got personalized as well. So it says Allie, and then there's her signature down there, and I'm just like, this was my first author signing ever, like of all time. I've never been to an author signing before. So this was super special for me. And I just love that I got to meet her and that she was so kind, and she told me good luck with being a writer, and it was just so nice. She's just amazing. She's like the best author to meet. And then after that, I knew there was going to be a couple of hours until the Stephanie Garber signing, which is another one I wanted to go to. So we ended up kind of just walking around and trying to figure out what to do next. I was looking at the schedule for everything, and I knew there was going to be an ARC drop for a book that I really, really wanted. So I'm like, okay, I know where the booth is. I'm going to kind of, just, stand around there. But there's also already a line for that booth. So I got into that line, and that was for like some swag or whatever. And so I was able to get that. That was a pretty long wait in that line, but it was totally worth it. I got a tote bag and some other things. So here's the tote bag. It was for the I Read YA booth, and super cute. Then on this side it says, "Be true to yourself." And it's a really, really nice tote bag. I was genuinely surprised. My mom picked up one as well because she uses tote bags literally all the time. Like, she has stolen my tote bags to use for herself. So like, this was totally like right up her alley. And then we got a few other things. Here's a little newspaper thing that has like a lot of the events on here and like information and stuff like that. I didn't really use this very much. I looked through it. It wasn't super helpful, but it's kind of cute. I mean, maybe I'll put it up on my wall or something. So at that I Read YA booth, when they were giving away stuff, I got this little lip balm, and it's super cute. It's kind of like in this like style of the EOS lip balm, and it's actually pretty nice. Like, I actually kind of like it. It's really nice, and I always use lip balm, so it was super nice, especially on that day, because like I had lip balm in my backpack, but trying to get into my leather backpack is so difficult. So I was like, you know what, this is really nice. And then we got this I Read YA pin, super cute, just red, just like the logo. And then there is this Together Against the Universe from Last of Her Name by Jessica Corey, and it looks like that. So cute. And then there were a few pins that I decided to put on my jean jacket, and there's this one that says "Love Makes Difference Beautiful" from The Music of What Happens by Bill Konigsberg. And then there's this one that says "Beauty Isn't Always Pretty" from Stepsister by Jennifer Donnelly, and that's what they look like on my jean jacket. And then on this side I have one pin from the I Read YA booth that says "Fight for love, fight for family, fight for yourself" from Love and Lies of Rukhsana Ali by Sabina Khan. Sorry, it's really hard to read because the font is so tiny, and I have really bad eyesight. But that's what it looks like right there. And then this one is from another booth. I can't remember what booth this is from, but it's so pretty, and it's like a matte finish. I love it. So cute. So those are the pins that I got from the I Read YA booth from waiting in that line. And then right after that line was finished, they started the line for the ARC drop. And this ARC drop was for a very highly anticipated book, and I was super excited to get this one. So I'm so glad that I was in kind of like near the front of the line, because I had just got done with that line and they were already making another one. So it was super exciting. I'm so glad I waited for it. And it was I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver, and I follow them on Twitter, so I was so excited that they were going to be dropping this ARC that day. So I'm so glad I actually have it. I can't believe it. I'm so excited to read it. I want to read it like ASAP. I want to start it like today. And it's really short, so I think I could like potentially read it pretty quickly. And I just can't believe I got this ARC. I was so excited. I was so happy to see that it kind of lined up with my entire plan and like everything I wanted to do. It was just like the perfect timing, so it just ended up being really good. The next ARC I got, and also the last ARC I got, was one that I wasn't really expecting to get because it was a ticketed ARC drop and I didn't have a ticket for it, but they were still giving away tickets while the ARC was dropping, so I ended up getting a ticket. It was totally fine, and I got Slay by Brittany Morris, and I am so excited to read this book. I know it has some stuff to do with like, I don't want to say video games maybe, but like kind of virtual reality it seems like, and I am just so excited to read this book. I've seen it a lot, and I'm glad that I was able to kind of be in the right place at the right time for this ARC. Hey! Oh my goodness, I'm good. I just got one.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get some tea because I have not eaten since this morning.
Either.
It's been lines.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god. Okay, so after all of that, it was time to get in line to get a wristband to meet Stephanie Garber. And that line was so long, it literally wrapped around. For Tejada Mafia, I kind of got there a little late, so I was just able to walk up to like the little booth that they have and ask for one of the wristbands. But with Stephanie Garber, I actually had to wait in line, and it was a very long line, but it moved super fast once it got going. So I was so glad I was able to get a wristband to meet her because I really loved Caraval. I let her know, I was like, I read it as an audiobook and I loved it so much that I had to buy myself a physical copy. And I was just so happy that I got to meet her. She was super nice as well, and she was just awesome. Like, I feel like every single author I met yesterday was just so nice, so kind, and just amazing to me. So I'll show you guys the book that I had her sign. From how much I love Caraval, you could probably guess that I had Caraval signed, and she put, it was right here, so pretty. There's the little thing to have it personalized. It says to Allie, and then there's her signature, super cute. And she was so nice. I'll insert some pictures here as well. And I'm just so glad I got to meet her. This was such a fun signing to go to. And right after that signing, I knew I had to start kind of getting ready to line up for the Brittany Caballero signing. And hers was down on the first level. So I ended up getting the Last of August signed. And here's what it says on the inside. It says to Allie, girl genius, and then her signature. And she was so nice, and I'm so glad I got to get a picture like standing next to her. She's actually pretty tall. Like, I was really genuinely surprised. I don't know why I thought she would be like shorter, but she was like almost as tall as me, so it was kind of cool. And she was so nice and just amazing, and I'm just so glad I got to meet her. And I chose The Last of August because it is my favorite book out of the series, so it just felt very fitting to get this one signed. So basically that was my entire experience at Yallwest. I absolutely loved my first time going there, and I definitely want to plan a trip back. And it's really nice to have a free and really accessible book festival in California because, you know, I probably won't get to go to BookCon anytime soon, so it's really nice to kind of get to experience a book festival, a book convention, whatever you want to call it, in my home state, because that was super easy to get to. It was a lot of fun to go to. I'm glad it was free, and it was just so much fun. It was super busy. It was like kind of hot some points in the day, but it was mostly pretty breezy and cool, so that was really nice. I kept my jacket on the entire time. Like, I brought it because I'm like, oh, I might be cold, and it did get a little warm at points, but I never felt like I had to take my jacket off, which was nice. And yeah, so I think I just had a really great experience. I am so glad that I was able to pick up 2 arcs at all. There were a few other arcs that I really wanted, but I knew I probably wasn't going to get to them, which was a little disappointing, but it's okay because I don't need like a billion arcs. I just wanted to get those 2 because I've been really excited about those ones, especially I Wish You All the Best. And thank you if you came up to me and actually like recognized me, because I didn't think anyone would. So it was really nice to get to talk to everyone and, you know, get to have these conversations, because I don't really have a lot of bookish friends in real life, or I guess like outside of Twitter. So it was really nice to get to talk about books with people that also love books. It's just so much fun. So for things I would do differently next time, I would probably bring some snacks, definitely snacks, because you know what? The food there is really expensive. There's not a lot of options, and I didn't eat literally the entire time I was there. I had a breakfast sandwich from Starbucks in the morning before we left, and I didn't eat until we got to the Cheesecake Factory at like, I want to say 7 o'clock. You know, definitely bring snacks. I'm going to bring my water bottle next time. Like, you really need to stay hydrated there. I mean, just like have a fun time there. It's really not like that, you know, big of a deal. Like, it is a big deal because it's like such a fun experience, but it's not that big of a deal to where you have to stress out about it, or where you have to get down on yourself about like not doing things or not doing things correctly or whatever. It's all just a learning experience, and it was so much fun, and I really want to do it next year. And hopefully I will get to meet more of you guys next year, because there were some people that I missed, and I'm so sad I missed them, but there's always next year. So I think that's about it. That's everything I wanted to talk about. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also tell me about your experience with Yallwest and if you have any tips or tricks that you would want to share with us. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!